welcome to Swishy K. Today I'll be playing Historia, or rather continuing Historia. It has been a hot minute. From what I remember, our friend Matt was absorbed by a snake, Celtic, godlike being. Watery, as well. That's a horrible description. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's begin. Alright, yeah, this one. Oh, okay. So hold on. Let me read our history, see where we left off, just as a quick review for me, and review to those who has also been sticking with it since the beginning and didn't realize it's been out 2 weeks since I posted part 1. Let's see. Can I go farther back in history? No. Alright. You're better off keeping your mouth shut, then maybe we could be a family again. Pause for a second. We played it last night. My dad came home, accused me of wasting time on a computer. I turned off the computer before he could check it. Trying. Why is it? That's starting to get a little weird. He lost his mind and started trying to take the computer apart. I told him that I had an assignment due tomorrow. Yeah, okay. What I remember when we first went back to this last time, vaguely, it definitely wasn't this contorted and very weird. Voices get louder? Max, Leah tried to intervene, but upon seeing the maelstrom, retreated into his room. We don't have a brother, right? We only have a sister. That's weird. Mix. I'm assuming that Max refused to be drawn into the conflict. His long shift had ended, and she just needed to wind down. Whoa, so she, oh, this is actually confusing me more as I read it. It's the same pattern every night, but I'm glad that I can count on my sister. She's practically my best friend. Is that mom, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what I'd do if she weren't around. But what else am I supposed to do? Roll over and let him ruin my life? I'm 17, nearly 18. By this time next year, I'll be in a university. He treats me like... Okay, so... Hot take, but I think this all I've already read before. Anything not, scrambled up, I think is normal. Yeah, because these are all straight and these are a little, it's infuriating. You see how this is wavy? Pretty sure if it's wavy like this, it is, not normal. Or I'm crazy. Am I crazy? Because, like, this got really weird looking. Oops. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just read it. We're doing our catch-up. Okay. It's infuriating. You act like a child last night after you quieted down. Did you study? She knows me too well. This is the same. I remember this. Let's just scroll. Scroll. Supposed to be the big brother here. Relax, I'm pulling your leg. I'll be fine. Only a couple more months and we're out of here. Oh my gosh, Doug. Doug. I think his name's Doug. If I remember right. Same. Death. She sees enough death and destruction at work. She tried... What? Where did she work at? Death and destruction? Is she a morgue? A war zone? Like, what? I don't even know. Yeah, Nat? Nat. Short for Natalie, that's right. Her sister's name's Natalie, right? Natalia. Or that's how you say it. Okay, skip. You see, the textbook where I guess, and from an unfamiliar house, a 2-story. I know I've never seen it before, but I can't ignore. This is normal. Normal. Okay, yeah. Alright. Max. So, this is when we realize our universe isn't right, and that it's being contorted or eaten alive by the snake, and Max is either in an alternate dimension in the snake bellies or something. I'm not sure. If I remember right, this glitched out when the teacher originally said it, and it's actually, yeah, it's like, Max, are you? Get out of me. Get me out of here. I think he's in the snake belly, right? That's my assumption. Okay. Spurry, don't touch me. Doop de doo. Not gonna let you eat me. As he screams, body returns. So I wonder, one thing I do remember is we touched the snake. Is it because the snake mouth didn't touch us? Is that why we're okay, I wonder? Maybe? Monsters take him. Of course, Natalia has forgotten. Everyone else has forgotten Matt, but maybe because we witnessed it and we touched the snake, we're good. Okay. So, it's time. What I remember is he thinks he's going to say, like, oh, Matt's playing a prank on me or something, right? I don't know. I don't even know. Okay. Now the voices. Been a hot minute since I've read this. They will not be the same, and whew, I'm gonna do my best attempt. Coming. it's a it's a voice I never heard before. An old lady. Maybe he has a visitor. Oh, it's an old lady. Ugh. Let me alter my voice a little. The door opens and I can see an old Asian woman in front of me. Can I help you? Yeah, it's Maxon. I peer behind the woman. Everything looks different from what I remember. I don't remember what it looks like at all, so sure, I'll believe you. The stairway looks the same, but the furniture has all changed. Max, I think you have the wrong house. No, this is the right house. Max Dunbar has lived here for years. Well, now I know that you're wrong, as my home since it was built 13 years ago. 14. The nausea hits me again, and I falter backwards. She shakes her head before closing the door. 13 years, I say. Crazy youngin'. I stumble away from the house. As I cross onto the footpath, I feel like I'm pushing through air. Ooh, spooky music. Like I'm walking through a wall of mud. My memory clears and I can see the ghostly snake devouring Max clearly in my mind. I like the textures here around the what's it called, a screen? The texture around the screen. I wonder what that signals. Is that like is that the snake's influence on us, or is that just our blood pressure raising? I don't know. I take a deep breath of air and squeeze my eyes shut, forcing my memories to the fore. My mind is at odds with itself. Part of it's telling me Max was a dream. Whoa. Oh, the longer we stare at it, the weirder it gets. Hold on, wait. Let's keep staring at it. What happens? What's the worst that can happen? Nah, I don't think it's gonna get weirder than this. Oh, I don't think it's liking this. Oh, it continues as I'm post present. My bad. That he never existed. The more I try to recall our childhood together, the harder it gets to remember him. It's like chasing a rainbow. No matter how fast you run towards it, it's always out of reach. Oh, it's getting vibrating now. Alright, so the game just crashed there. My apologies, not sure what's going on. I didn't have that problem before, but it's been a little finicky today. Anyways, doubt creeps into my consciousness. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I was the one that fed myself drugs and Max was an illusion. Maybe because I let it go on too long, it just became too much for it to handle. Yeah, it looks like he was gored alive, dude. No, that can't be right. He's real. I'm real. None of this world is real. What? But I need to pull myself together. People are going to think I'm crazy. Running, screaming from school will have that effect on your reputation. Yeah. I need to get my world under control, but it's spinning too fast, or maybe that's just in my head. Nothing makes sense, and I feel exhausted. As much as I want to avoid a run-in with Mum right now, I decided the best option is to sneak home. If I can rest for a little bit, then maybe I can clear my head and sort out what this all means in my mind. The walk home feels longer than it should be, and I could swear that I smell traces of ozone. Ozone, huh? Interesting. Hold on, wait. Alright, yeah, let me save so if it crashes again, we don't have to reset. A cold breeze blows down Max's street, and I feel the chill against my skin. Ozone, huh? The wind blows the smell from my nose before I can verify it. By the time I got home, I have almost convinced myself that this is reality and that Max was a dream. I quietly opened the back door to the house. Dad should be at work by now, but it doesn't hurt to be careful. Mom is asleep after her night shift. She doesn't usually get up until well, till well after we finish school. Look at that little pink elephant. I was wondering when you'd come back here. Natalia was waiting for me at the kitchen table, negating the need for stealth. How did you know I'd be here? You ran screaming from school in some kind of drug fever. I knew you'd have to come back here eventually. I sheepishly tried to avoid her stare. She's right. I went a little overboard this morning. Sorry, I must have slept poorly or something. That didn't look like sleep to me. Are you using... I recoil physically at her accusation, but from her point of view, it's a reasonable conclusion. No, I swear. I'm just a little messed up right now with my friend being eaten alive and stuff. Don't worry about it. I think that I had some weird dream last night. That I saw some kind of attack. I'm okay now. You better not be taking anything. I have to put up with enough crap from Dad with those junkies in school. You're supposed to be the diamond in the rough here. I tussle my little sister's hair. You don't need to worry about me. I've got too much going for me to screw it up now. I'm not totally convinced by that, but I do know that I can't afford to lose focus for now. I can count on the rest of my high school life in weeks, and I know just how behind I am on my studies. If I want to end up at a halfway decent university and get out of this backwater, I need to hit the books. I fill my lungs and try to push the remnants of the stream from my head. I need to forget fantasies of snakes and monsters. Focusing on some hard facts from a textbook would help with that. Oh, you'd better not. Oh, I brought your bag here. Told your roll call teacher that you had a fever. Thanks. You're welcome. I'm going back to school now. Get your head together, okay? Sure. Oh, Nat. Don't tell Mom, okay? She'll flip out and send me a bunch of tests or something. You got it. But pull something like this again, I'll make sure you piss in a cup. Oops, I meant to censor that. My bad. Natalia picks up her school bags and heads out the door. Talking to another person helps to calm my mind, and suddenly, I feel tired. Running around like a madman all morning has taken its toll. But I need to study to clear my head. It's not often that I'll get a chance to have the house to myself. I grab a glass of milk from the fridge, slamming it shut before opening the school books on the kitchen table. It's much easier to study here than in my room with the piles of old cardboard boxes. The small windows in that room simply don't provide enough ventilation. Too long in there and I'll give myself a headache. I became engrossed in my historical book, and before I knew it, the white light streaming in the window has taken an orange hue. I'd better shift back to my pitiful room before anyone gets home. As the sun sets as my wayward family begins to assemble in the house. Actually, let's check something. Did we actively forget about Matt and stuff? I wonder. Wait. Yeah, okay, it did change. It's pointless no matter how many times I look back at the nights. I can't seem to where it fight. It said Enter the water. Max, have you heard that name before? Yeah, okay. This is different. I turned back towards hold on. Yeah, it's too early sometimes. I've been lost, standing in front of an unfamiliar house, a two-story townhouse. I can't ignore a tingle of deja vu drawn to the sound. I don't know why. Do-do-do-do-do. Turn back to the house, just left. Appears hazy, out of focus. How could you forget me? We were best friends, man. I need a drink of water. Spring heat is starting to get to me. I'm overturned. Regardless of my opening hours, eat coffee while they're perplexed by this. A little more name. There's some connection there. Crap. Okay, no, it didn't change. I'm crazy, actually. I was wondering if we, completely forgotten it, and it's consistently changed, so my bad. I'll wait for a little longer. The sun sets as my wayward family begins to assemble in the house. Natalia is first, secluding herself in her room almost as soon as she got in. I suppose that last night and today she's had enough of me. Doesn't want to be dragged into another confrontation. Mum is next. I hear sleepy sighs as she settles into the dining rooms after a day of sleep. I want to go out and say hello, but I'm afraid that I'll slip up and she'll go into protection mode. Best to pretend that I'm studying to keep out of the way for now. The worst outcome is that she starts to think I'm on drugs. I'll never hear the end of it. Locking myself away to study isn't that rare, so I might be able to get away with it for today. It isn't long before I hear the background noise of the TV in the living room, flooding the living room in the hum of the microwave. Pasta again, I suppose. She works like a dog and still finds energy to cook for us. But the microwave? That's not cooking. I don't know how she does it. Not that boiling pasta and microwave sauce is really gourmet cooking, but it saves me doing it. Oh, that's very true, actually. Shout out to all the moms out there. Sometimes I try to cook for everyone, but it always ends up terrible. Mom subtly suggested that I leave it to her. Dinner's ready. Oh, she's British now. The emotionless cry reverberates around our little house, and Natalia and I dutifully file into the dining room. Natalia gives me the look that tells me that she won't say a word, but at the same time to avoid starting another row with Dad. I sheepishly nod in her direction. Message received. Oh, the mom is depressed, dude. One look at Mom's face tells me all I need to know. It's been a rough day. Don't ask me anything. That's what the bags under her eyes are telling us. How is school? Uneventful. I could hear my sister. I can hug my sister jumping in for me. I still can't trust my mouth to say what I want to say. Huh? And you? Wait. And you? I lost the British accent. She's not British anymore. Same, I guess. I'm just getting ready for finals. Good. With the official family conversation ended, start eating in silence. Spaghetti. Bolognese. I can't. If someone knows how to pronounce that, let me know down below. It's a staple of our family diet, and I don't really mind. It's quick and it fills you up. And I'm healthy enough, so it can't be that bad for you. I started noticing that a lot of people in this town are becoming obese, but so far we are still fit. It's a weird commentary. Doug, I want you to know that your dad doesn't mean everything he said last night. I twirl my fork in the spaghetti, sloshing the red sauce around the plate. We just know that you only get one shot at this. You know that too, right? I guess. I don't feel like talking to her about it. I'm still not entirely sure of what happened last night. Memories are overlapping in my mind, making it hard to tell reality from fiction. But if I act too weird, Mom's sensories will start pinging and I'll be integrated with vigor. That's one more complication I don't need in my life right now. Mom has made her stance on drugs quite clear. If the junkies were gone, so would her need to pull overtime. Is she an officer? Or one of those people that clean up crime cases, I wonder? I'm not sure. He's also in a lot of stress at this moment. Stress, huh? That guy doesn't know stress. Mom has worked in an emergency ward for decades. The stories she tells us chills you to your bone. Blood. Oh no. Yeah, that's a tough job right there she got. What kind of stress would make an office worker have that compares to that? I know. I struggle to keep my emotions in check. If I get myself riled up now, then I'll pop when he gets home. Hey guys, I'm back. My roommate was a lovely person and got me some delicious Alfredo noodles. Kudos to the chef. Alright. You guys will see none of what just happened. Alright, okay. Serious time. This is a serious game. Sorry. About this game. Alright, ready to continue. So how long will you know? So long as you know, he wants what's best for you, even if you don't see it yet. One day, you'll thank him. I dropped the fork on my plate with a clatter. I get it. I'm done. I carry the half-empty plate to the sink. I don't want to... Oh, I look at the sink detail. I don't want to... petulant to my... I don't want to be rude to my mother, but I also need time to think. Reality isn't playing nice today, and I already know that she's going to say, she's not wrong, and I guess that is the hardest part of it all. I have to go study. My finals are bringing a lot of stress into the family. Even though I'm the only one affected, Mom and Dad have been fretting over the coming exams, and that reflects back on me. So I start to get worried. At the beginning of the year, I thought I had everything under control. But as the day looms closer, they start panicking. What if I don't get good enough grades? It's not like I have any other talents. I like to shoot some hoops now and then, but I'm easily the weakest player on the school team. So sports aren't an option. I already had a couple of friends drop out of high school to start apprenticeships, but Dad wouldn't let me do that. You need a degree to survive in this world. Almost every trade will be automated in the next 20 years. He may be right. So university has always been the front of mind for me. I want to make an impact on this world, and that's not something you can do easily as an electrician. Some would beg to differ on that one. But that's about where my ambition stops. I have a couple subjects I'm okay with, but nothing stellar. That may be the appeal of a university. Get out of this tiny town and try to find what I'm good at. Maybe that's why I clash with Dad so much. He spends too much time reading about the future of business, so he wants me studying computer science. His vision of the future seems so clear, but from where I sit at, it's not that simple. I can hear his car pull up in the driveway now. It must already be 8 o'clock. Somehow I can tell by his footsteps that he hasn't been drinking. That's a relief. The door opens and he calls out to everyone. I'm home! Doug, you got a sec? Dang it, here he comes. I'm in my room. I close my eyes and breathe heavily, trying to force the confusion from my mind. If Mom's overbearing caring instincts are bad, having Dad think that I'm high would be much worse. I don't even want to imagine his reaction. He knocks on my door before I open it, and leaning in. Look, Doug, I want to apologize for last night. It's okay. No, it's not. I went overboard, and it's not healthy. I just got so worried about you and your sister, I don't want you to end up screwed up like your uncle. Oh, that old crutch. Dad wasn't exactly on top of his social ladder, but he was still a fair few rungs up from his kleptomaniac brother. I get it. Anyway, I want you to know that I wanted to support you. But I could see you making the same mistake I did, and I wanted to stop you from that. A small spark of anger flares up in me. Normally I'd fight back, but I want this to be over. I have other things to worry about today. I know. Thanks, Dad. Dad seems to accept my thanks. He was probably expecting me to fight back as well. Alright. I see you're working, and I'll leave you to it. You're a good kid, you know that? Yeah, I know. He taps the door jamb and pulls the door closed. Finally, I'm alone. I tamp down the fire that is starting to grow in my belly. There's no point in getting pissed off and starting another fight again tonight. Until I can trust my body again, it's not worth making much fuss. I need to clear my head, so I grab a light jacket and my helmet to head outside. I'm going for a ride, back in a bit. Okay, have your helmet on. Oh, my mother has trained me well. No riding without a helmet. I used to think this was too nerdy, but then she showed me some photos of accidents. That was enough to scare me into protecting my skull. Stay on the main roads. Be safe. Sure thing, Mom. I put my legs harder against the wind in my face. The blood surging through my body helps to clear my mind. Forget about wild dreams of serpents or stomach cramps. Forget about Max and epic fights in the night. Just push, push, and push more. All these things work themselves out in the end. Just push through it, and you'll work it out. That's how I've dealt with everything else so far. Deal with what you have to, and filter out the rest. But then again, I've not dealt with something like this before. Stop thinking. Push! I chastise myself for letting my mind wander, and I start charging my legs for another sprint. The school whizzes by on my left as I start towards the river. Danger, no entry. At this hour, there is hardly any people in sight. I'm not sure what Mom was worried about. There aren't even any cars out. I see someone walking a dog, but apart from that, nothing. I turn right and continue parallel to the river, out towards the industrial areas. The lighting is a little lower out here, but then again, there are fewer people. I need to go fast. As the road levels out, I pedal with increased fervor. My stomach cramps slightly. Maybe I'm pushing too hard. I grit my teeth and continue forward, but the throbbing in my stomach grows with every rotation of the wheels until it develops into a full cramp. Slam the brakes and the bike skids to a stop. Ozone fills my nostrils. What the heck? I speak before I can stop myself. No sooner have the words left my lips, the tightening in my stomach turns into a full knot, and I let my bike fall to the ground. There, across the road, I can see it. The flickers of rainbow colors emanating the windows of nearby house. Colors I saw less than a day before, the light emitted from the body of the snake. Vomit churns in my throat, but I swallow it back down. I need to confront this beast now. I need to know which of its memories is real. I rush to the front door and I start to pound on it furiously, but there is no answer. Let me in! I must look like a madman, pounding on the door in this quiet street. But the air here feels so thick, like in the classroom this morning, like I'm stuck in some kind of bubble. I try to look at the house around me, but they shimmer in the distance as if far away on a hot day. Madness poses over me. I kick in the door. It gives away easily, as if it was complete solid. Somehow it's not completely real. Inside the house, I can hear sickening chewing. I see strobing flashes across the hallway. I charge in the house, hoping that I can save whoever's in here. But before I can cross the threshold, the serpent appears at the end of the hall. Oh, that's blood. Oh. Get down! From behind me, I hear. Oh, it's a girl. I keep guessing me wrong. From behind me, I hear a girl's voice over the cacophony of the approaching serpent. My legs don't wait for my brain. They curl up beneath me, and before I think, I'm crouching on the floor. A glass bottle sails over my head and shatters on the floor, spraying liquid everywhere. The serpent retreats briefly before charging directly at us, exposing its infinite maw and the rows of teeth that line it. I let out a scream and a wave crashing over my head, and I clasp my hands over my ears to block out the noise. Oh crap! Get out of here! By the doorway, I see a small figure in silhouette beckoning me towards her, a glass bottle in hand. Instincts kick in, and I dive through the door in the darkness in the residential street. I feel the serpent behind me, but the silhouette pokes the bottle in my head and the shadows above the serpent. Momentum carries my roll across the lawn. As I tumble, I see the snake's body arch up and burrow into the floor. Like a switch, the sound of draining water is gone. The noises of suburban street return, as does the panting of the girl out of breath. I turn to see the house, but the light is gone now. The front door stands intact as if nothing ever happened. I pick myself up from the ground, brushing blades of grass from my clothes. I approach the front door, my hand running over the solid wood that had shattered mere moments ago. Like Max, someone died here, eaten by a giant snake. A lump starts to form in my throat, but then I feel a hand on my shoulder. So, is this our new route? Who are you? You saw it too? The tension in my gut starts to subside. I realize that if two of us saw the same thing, then I might not be crazy. Well, at least not in the did I really just see a snake eat my friend kind of crazy. Of course, but it reacted, right? To the turpentine kind? You mean that bottle? It seemed really ticked off. The girl seemed genuinely happy, in an odd sort of way. She clenches her fist in a victorious pumping motion. She seems familiar, but I can't place her. Do you know what's going on here? The girl stops her celebration for a second to look at me. She's wearing my school's uniform. Wait, you go to my school, right? The girl rolls her eyes. Yes, genius. It's me, Michelle. I draw a blank. I might have seen this person in school, but she's somehow never registered in my brain. She seems short and dirty, her uniform muddied and probably torn. It's hard to tell in the moonlight. Sure, I'm Doug. She keeps staring at me. Did I say something wrong? Are you serious? Do you honestly not know who I am? Oh, you don't remember anything from last night. It sounds less like a question, more of a realization. Why would she know anything about last night? Before I can open my mouth, she waves her hand with a bitter smile. Haven't you heard of me? Everyone else has. I'm in your sister's class too, you know? Oh, really? No, wait, about last night. I remember something. It's like I have two memories from last night. Rainbow Serpent. Excuse me? It's called the Rainbow Serpent. Why is she so upset right now? She seemed so friendly a moment ago. Now she won't even look me in the eye. I don't get what her deal is. You really know nothing about all this, do you? I'm afraid not. If she can help me understand what the heck is going on, I think I can stomach her attitude. Well, I can tell you two things. One, you're not crazy, and neither am I. And two, it's not coming back to this house. And actually three, you owe me a hot drink. Two by now if I'm keeping score. What for? For saving your arse. Twice. The last word is icy cold. What? Never mind. He sighs deeply, clearly disappointed in me. I only wish I knew why. She saved me for now, kind of. Did she do the same yesterday? But no matter how much I strained my brain to remember, nothing comes up. Her face didn't even awaken for any memories either. If the memories were about the monster are true, how did I get back home last night? There's a diner near here. Buy me a coffee and we'll call it even. Sure. I collect my bike and push it as I walk alongside Michelle. Rainbow Serpent, you say? Yes, Rainbow Serpent. You've heard of it, right? Or do you sleep through history class? I thought it was some kind of Aboriginal legend. Bingo! But didn't it create the rivers and the land and then die or something? Did that look dead to you? I guess not. Michelle's standoffish nature rubs against me, so I decided to keep my mouth shut. Before long, the yellow glow of fast food restaurants filled the road ahead, and we shuffled into the warm eatery. The cashier gives us a look of disgruntled indifference, disappointed that we might interrupt his mostly solitary night shift with an order. Steam curls off the top two cups as they sit in a cream-colored plastic table. I study the girl across from me. The harsh fluorescent light of the restaurant, I can see that her uniform is quite stained. like she's been crawling through the undergrowth. It's not quite torn, but definitely well worn. Lucky our school doesn't care much about uniforms, or else she'd be in trouble. What are you looking at? Oh, nothing. Your uniform, I guess? Michelle checks herself, noticing the mud stains as if for the first time. It's a little dirty. So what? Nothing. I thought you might have been in an accident or something. No, just patrolling. Patrolling? For the serpent. My mind instantly resets, forgetting about the stories of the muddied uniform. Why do you call it a rainbow serpent? Because that's what it is. I thought that much would have been obvious. And you've seen it before? Once, well, 3 times now. But once before this week. It was a long time ago. But what is it? That I don't know. All I know is it eats people, and when it does, it's like they never existed. Like Max. I choke up for a second before continuing. Last night, it ate my best friend, Max. We used to do everything together, but today no one even knew that he existed. Even I wasn't sure if he was real until I saw that thing again. So you're saying that he was eaten and people forgot about him? Michelle shakes her head. No, more like he's never existed in the first place. People who get eaten, they're erased from history. Then why do I remember him? You touched a serpent, right? I'm not sure how, but that's why. I recall the intense sensation of the void from my contact with the serpent. It really did feel like there was some kind of distorted reality lurking within the beast. Does that mean you... Yes. Michelle toys with her coffee, rolling the cup between her 2 palms. It was my aunt and uncle. They came to visit us after we had just moved here. The first night they slept in the living room. A weird noise woke me up, and I went down curious. When I got downstairs, I saw that terrible serpent eating them as they slept. I tried to stop it, but I couldn't. When my parents woke up, they couldn't remember that my aunt and uncle were ever in the house, or that they have even existed at all. My parents even showed me their wedding photos to prove to me. They simply weren't there. They thought I was crazy. Both my aunt and uncle were deleted from history. That's exactly what happened to Max. When I went to his house today, there was some woman living there. No one at school remembers him like he never existed. For years, I thought I was the only one, and I had just made this up. It was just a dream. Is that why you go patrolling? Yes, I need to find it. But you've only seen it 3 times. Yeah, to be frank, I thought I was going crazy. Apart from William, no one else believes me. And he's not exactly what most people call sane. William? Oh, he's a friend. Of sorts. Never mind. I decided to leave the subject alone. So, how did you find me tonight? Michelle looks away from me, suddenly trying to avoid my questioning gaze. I just did, alright? The young girl sighs before turning back to me. Same as last night. Last night? Anyway, I saw the light of the serpent, so I went to check it out. She answers quickly, suddenly upset again. Talking with her is difficult. I feel like she'll bite if I word my questions wrong. I wonder if she's actually stalking us after us, exploding in the past. But also, let's go ahead and... I don't know how far along... Okay, that definitely didn't change at all. Get out of here. But hold on. Recently, there was Matt that just appeared. Here it is, man. Man, how on earth did you forget about me? Because we're bros, man. I don't know if they were exactly erased from reality, I would say at this point. I would say it's more of they got shoved into an alternate reality, which is weird because you saw his very graphic bloody shirt. He definitely got eaten. You saw the blood dripping down. Like, they got ripped to shreds, but it's almost like they weren't truly killed. Just removed from this reality and put it into another. But I need those answers desperately. And yesterday, did you see what happened? Did you see the serpent eating Max? No, but I believe you. No one else will believe you. No one ever. Except me. I guess that makes us Confederates then? Michelle squirms in the cheap plastic-covered seat for a moment before answering. Those words seemed to have cleared her sour mood instantly. I guess. So, what's next? Next? How do we get Max back? You can't get him back. He's gone. I don't even know who you're talking about. I'm one of the few people on this planet that will ever believe you. Once you're in that belly of the beast... She makes a disappearing motion with her hand. Just like that? Just like that. She's wrong, man. I can't tell you why or how, but she's dead wrong. It's weird. Depression washes over me as waves of memories with Max tumble across my mind. Memories that have been erased from everyone else's history. Everyone's, except mine. I suddenly felt alone, tormented and alone. How can such a great person as Max suddenly cease to exist? Until now, I wasn't ready to accept it. Seeing his dirty, matter-of-fact girl explain things somehow made me realize that this is for real. Max is gone. Dead. Worse than dead. Erased. And I can never talk to anyone about it. I suddenly realized something. How long ago did you say your aunt and uncle were attacked? I didn't, but it's been 5 years this summer. 5 years. She would have been about 10. You've never told anyone? Yes and no. When I told people, they thought I was crazy. I didn't know if I dreamed it or not, so I kept my mouth shut. And went patrolling every night? Michelle nodded silently. 5 years. 5 years thinking that she was crazy. 5 years of sneaking out at night to go and patrol. 5 years of keeping your mouth shut about something you desperately need to talk about. Dealing with the death of someone close is painful, like a dagger in the heart. Even I want to curl up and cry for Max, but I know I can't. But Michelle never even got the chance. I recall the sheer terror that flowed through me when I saw the serpent. How on earth would a 10-year-old react to that? Words fail me. Well, thank you. For helping me out. You're welcome. So, what now? Same as always. I'm going to search for the serpent. And kill it. Kill it? This thing ruined my life. Yes, I'm going to kill it. How? I don't know. But I'm not going to find out sitting here. Okay, calm down or they'll kick us out. My harsh whisper calms Michelle down, but I glance over at the counter. The soul worker is nowhere to be seen. We could probably start a rock concert and he wouldn't care about the noise. Michelle, however, takes this as her cue and calms slightly. Sorry, I'm a little excited, I guess. It's a wild story. I can understand why no one else believes you. Well, at least you do now. I kind of don't have a choice at this point. Well, let's see what Mount said. For what it's worth, I believe in you both as well. So so Michelle hasn't had this with her uncle then, I'm guessing, because we've had these flashes, although now he fully can't see him at all. But earlier he was seeing him flashing out, if you recall. But now he can't at all. But did Michelle maybe see this and she just forgot about it? I'm not certain. Or did she not see it and there was some other reason why? Is it because we were trying to shove the serpent off him that we can't and he wasn't fully eaten? Could that be the case? For whatever it's worth, he's definitely at least alive somehow. Alternate universe, something. Michelle hurls her cups before drinking the rest of the coffee. Thanks for the drink. At least tonight we saw that it reacts to terps. We're allies now, right? I gulp as I realize I'm being forced into a partnership with this ill-groomed girl. Allies. In any case, it won't be back tonight, I'm sure of that. We should get some sleep. Tomorrow's another day. Michelle seems a little too triumphant. Then again, after 5 years of self-doubt, it would be liberating to know that you were right all along. Patrolling, you mean? Of course. Partner. Partner. The word sits heavy in my mind, but if what she is telling me is true, and Max isn't coming back, then I think I should join her for some revenge. Where do we meet then? Don't worry, I'll find you. See you. Michelle lets herself out of the restaurant, dissolves into the inky black night beyond the external nights. I finish my own drink before heading out to my bike. The ride back to my house is painfully lonely, made worse by the realization that I can't publicly mourn my friend. Ever. What Michelle told me appears to be true. No one has knows of Max before. If a real person had died, everyone would gather around me and support me. I'd seen it before. When I was year 7, a senior was killed in a car crash. The school practically turned into a therapy center for about a month. I didn't understand why at the time, but I do now. And yet, if I bring anything up, I'm going to be sent to therapy. Not to grieve, but to cure my insanity. I snip back the tears as the wind streaks past my face. I hope that my eyes don't give me away when I go home. Thankfully, it appears the house is silent, so I manage to make it into my room without raising suspicion. I stare at the ceiling, and it's impossible to get sleep. Tales of rainbow serpents mean nothing to me right now. I replay memories in my mind, trying to place Max's face front and center. The trees we used to climb, jumping off rocks into the river, riding our bikes out in a quarry outside of town. But the harder I try to focus on his face, the harder it gets to remember his features. I pull out my phone and try to find photos of him, but it's no good. Just as Michelle said, he's been erased from history. I know that I took photos of him last week, but now some stranger looks back at me from the screen. A new timeline, new friends. What on earth is this? My frustration vents from my mouth involuntarily. I put the phone down on my bedside and wait for the bluish glow to fade. My room is now practically dark, allowing my mind to generate its own images. I try to force his Max face to the fore, but it's a futile effort. All I see is shifting rainbow of the serpent's skin, its multiple blinking eyes, the rows of teeth framing its red, bottomless maw. I shudder, adrenaline keeping me from noticing too many details. But now, as my mind recreates the scene, I have no choice. My grief begins to replace with terror as the image swirls around my darkened room, and that sound, like a contained tsunami, combined with a thunderstorm, an eternal torrent of noise. I choke up a little as I realize that this would have been the last thing that Max saw in his universe. He must have been terrified. Alone and terrified. I squeeze my eyes shut and curl up into a ball on my bed. I can feel tears roll up behind my eyelids, but I pay them no heed. All I want right now, someone, anyone, and to have them tell me that everything will be alright. This is all a bad dream. That this Michelle was conspiring to make me feel bad. But deep down, I knew the truth of my new reality. Max is dead, and I couldn't even lay a finger on the beast that killed him. I couldn't even warn him to run. I feel powerless, useless, scared. Now I understood Michelle's passion. At 10 years old, alone, she wouldn't have had the benefit of self-control that I have. She must have been driven crazy by not knowing what was real and what was implanted by the serpent. At least I have that advantage. Michelle. She said something about someone else. William? Doesn't sound like anyone I've heard before. In any case, Michelle is the only person, for now, that can understand what I'm going through. Not that that makes sleeping any easier. I take some deep breaths, and somehow manage to get my silent sobbing under control. get together. Getting depressed isn't helping anyone. The beast is out there, and it's going to keep doing this to other people until we find a way to put a stop to it. So that's what we'll have to do. Tomorrow I'll find Michelle and I'll extract every bit of information from her that I can. But until then, let me mourn my friend. Alright, so I think that's where we will call it for today. But first, let me double check the history, see if anything weird has happened. He didn't mention anything then. Wait. Right here. Wait, well, I remember something. One, I stay at my home, fought with my dad, and would get me out of here. Get me out of her? Get me out of here? Her? Huh? I don't think that was the typo of here. I'm pretty sure. I think the Rainbow Serpent is probably a girl or something like that. I don't know. Does it even have a gender? Um, but yeah, that's pretty hefty stuff. And that's where we'll call it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this chapter and my lovely reading. And I'll see you next time. Bye.